So to get us started here, Dave Thul writes, how can I, as a local GOP leader, help persuade libertarians that the Republican Party represents the best chance of accomplishing their goals?
Yeah, there's three, that's a great question, and I think there's three simple things you can do to do that. One is join the RLC. Self-promotion, we have to do that, right?
Yes.
That's the avenue for change in the Republican Party's RLC is what I believe. Two is, I think, a lesson that we all have to learn, especially in light of recent events, is don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk to your grandmother, don't be a jerk to the blue hair at your convention, and don't be a jerk to other Republicans. And the third thing, I think, is we need to really focus on issues and on principles rather than party above all. Yeah, let's support Republicans and let's work within the party because we share a lot of common values, but let's really focus on why we're Republicans. Not on the partisan label itself, but on what Republicanism means to us. And I think to a lot of us, it means small government, it means individual rights.
Right, and I'll add on to that. I'll add on to that because I'm somewhat familiar with Dave Thul's district, and I've met Dave personally. He's a great guy, super good, upright, very high character person, and I definitely appreciate him and what he's done and how he's involved in the party. Unfortunately, I know that especially back in 2008 and 2012, I know a lot of new people who came into the system under certain pretenses, translate Ron Paul, were treated very, very poorly by the BPOU leadership. And so, unfortunately, now the vast majority of those people, at least down in the first congressional district and even in the Olmsted County area, they've left. They've abandoned, the party. They've abandoned any hope that they would rather do nothing than be involved with the Republican Party. So I think that, as much as a lot of those people did what I would consider some unsavory things, and a lot of them were just being told what they should do or given instructions, I think that the party leadership should be the ones to be the bigger people and include them and help them understand why their path, the way they're going about things, might not work so well. And instead of actively going around room and shouting people down, as I know happened on several occasions in 2012. Now, the good news is I think that a lot of the new leadership in CD1 and especially in Olmsted County with Aaron Miller's election to chair, I think a lot of that attitude is going to change. But that's my big thing is the ones who are here, don't be jerks to the people who come in, even if they're being jerks to you, because you're supposed to be the bigger people. Show them the way.
Sure.
Yeah, the advice that I would give people is a little bit different flavor, and that's acknowledge it. First of all, I think if you're contemplating getting involved in party politics or politics at all, you have to make peace with the notion that people aren't going to like you, that you are not going to be welcomed. And it's actually rather absurd to anticipate that you would be welcomed when you're coming into a antagonistic, or what's the word I'm looking for here, a contested electoral environment. I mean, when you walk into a caucus, certainly there are a lot of precincts where they have trouble filling their delegations. But if there is contested delegate spots, if there are contested endorsements, if there is an election where there's more than one person on the ballot, then you're walking into an inherently combative, antagonistic situation, and so you have to be okay with that. We have to put on our big boy pants, right? That's the first thing I would say. But then also, please, activists, those of you who have removed your consent, right? Please stop judging the Republican Party as if it's a person that you need to convince to come over your way. That is never going to happen. The way you change the Republican Party is not by removing your consent or withdrawing your activism. The way you change the Republican Party is by taking it over, by bringing your neighbors, bringing your friends, bringing people who share your values, and reshaping the party from within. And in fact, there are folks who might hear that who are in the establishment, right? Which technically all of us are, because we're all involved in the Republican Party, right? There's this false dichotomy between, on the one hand, being a Republican cheerleader, and on the other hand, being some sort of weird adversarial agent of change who's trying to upend what it means to be a Republican. Well, I got news for you. There's nobody who's involved in the Republican Party who is not trying to change something, because if they didn't want to change something, they wouldn't be involved. There'd be no point. It's a constant process of movement. It's constant forward momentum in a direction. And so if you want to change what that direction is, then you need to get at the helm, and the only way to do that is to be involved in the party.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to the RLC Minnesota YouTube channel. And if you'd like to join the fight for individual rights, limited government, and free markets, become a member of the RLC at rlcminnesota.org.